Okay, right. Can I now invite Dr. Khairi and also Dr. Farah to join our platform? There are lots of questions. So if I can start, the question will be addressed to Dr. Farah, or any one of you can also answer. Is there any subspecialty training for family medicine specialists offered under KKM?
Yes, okay. Saya sorry for those candidate who are actually interested in family medicine or public health. I lupa nak explain sebab saya dari program perubatan, so that's why I presented on behalf of all the medical fraternity and surgical base and all that. But yes, there is ada, cuma I'm not very familiar because public health ni dia ada kalau family medicine there is, tapi saya tak tahu berada berapa subspecialty dia, but you can apply through the same channel. For public health pun ada, public health kita ada 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, communicable disease epidemiology, non-communicable disease epidemiology, family health, health management, occupational health, environmental health and military medicine. So you can see this from the NSR website. Pergi dekat NSR website boleh tengok apakah subspecialty yang ada dalam NSR untuk you choose later on. But for purpose of applying is from through the same channel. Bahagian pengurusan latihan tawaran C yang akan open every July or August. Dalam tawaran C tu ada bagi tahu program perubatan punya, program KA and also family medicine. Ada, memang ada.
Right, thank you Dr. Farah. Kalau di UKM kita ada dua je untuk fellowship program under family medicine, iaitu adolescent health dengan community stroke care untuk masa ni lah. Okay, for now. Right, and then Dr. Farah, you know, a lot of our specialists, they are actually beyond 30s, beyond 40. So there's a interesting question here. In regards to fellowship program, is there age limit to apply for fellowship?
Yes, okay, that will be under syarat umum. Okay, starting from I think starting from 2020, age limit dia telah meningkat kepada 45 lah. Maknanya those who are below 45 boleh apply for subspecialty, for both program perubatan as well as program kesihatan awam and kesihatan keluarga.
Okay, right, thanks. Dato' Khairi, I just want to ask a question about NSR. You know, we know, among our specialists, there are specialists who has not been registered with NSR, even though as general physician, what do you do about it? Some institution been harping on the specialist to apply for an SR, fill in the logbook, and the particular physician has been very quiet about it. So what is the head of department or the institution can do about it?
Okay, I would say, okay, let's talk about governance first, not just the law, yeah, because law is just one part of governance, yeah, especially public institution, yeah, public IPTA especially. The more that you have to uphold the law of the land. Jadi, I think the management cannot shut one eye, and blind the other. Tak boleh lah. And make things as if nothing happens. Yeah? It does. But when we found out, yeah, but in the previous years, kami bagi warning sebenarnya. Kami bagi cakap dengan pada the management and also to the doctor that we found that you have not been registered. Okay, and we remind them that this is against the law of the land. Okay, in many cases the institution will take remedial actions lah, yeah, because this is, kalau dia tak register, now it goes back to employer-employee, isn't it? So are you a responsible employer? Okay, so I think you have to ask yourself before being exposed lah publicly, kan? So but under the law, if you're not been registered, okay, as we said, if you are registered, katakanlah by full registration, but you're practicing as a specialist, we can still deregister you because you have been registered with us. Tetapi even that you have not been registered, then you are a quack doctor. Takkan IPTA employ a quack doctor. I mean, it's ridiculous lah, you know. So even houseman, we can take action. Can you imagine that? Bukan specialist saja. Because you are registered with us. The word is registered. Because the function of MMC, dua saja. Nombor satu, registration. Nombor dua adalah regulating the practice. Okay, and regulating practice is actually ethical. And if the manager atau administrator of that IPTA is a doctor, which usually is, we can take action against that doctor for working together or allowing a non-registered medical practitioner to practice in Malaysia. So that is the interplay. But so far, kami selalunya gentle lah. We give a reminder, you know, please do this, please do that. Yeah. But in worst case scenario, later on, which I intend to pursue, is that we will even go for criminal, because the law also provides. Ya, kalau you practice without registration, you ada dia punya tu, boleh masuk jail, boleh masuk kena fine semua tu, ya. But so far the police are quite busy with the gangsters and whatnot lah. So, but one day we will speak to the IGP, and it has in other professional board pernah buat, ya. Dan apabila the attention has been brought up to his attention, probably he will take action. I mean the IGP lah. To investigate. So there's a long answer to a short question.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. I do hope the MOs they're going to be specialists soon. So I do hope they know the implication of this. Prof. Dayang, you want to add? Yeah.
Ya, saya yang pasal age group tadi kan, elok rujuk pada specialty juga kan Dr. Farah, sebab macam surgical ni biasanya kalau dah lanjut-lanjut sangat baru nak buat fellowship, kita tahulah kan daya tenaga tu kurang kan, nak stay up, nak buat on call, the expectation is less kan. And then bila kalau ada peluang pergi overseas, nanti kalau tak perform di luar negara, boleh memalukan negara dan sebagainya. Memang adalah kita mungkin untuk surgical specialty especially the age limit is even lower tapi saya faham macam family medicine dia tinggi kan, dia masih boleh 40 tahun masuk masters pun begitu kan Puan Norlaila. Saya sokong sangat saya sokong sangat Dato' Khairi tadi cakap pasal buat report tu, sebab saya tahu even dalam universiti ni tak ada masuk dalam NSR, boleh naik pangkat, boleh naik ini. Saya rasa kita kena change, sebab yes, we should be following the law of the land. We should be the one. Kita di universiti konon macam jadi role model kan. Jadi kita patut bagi peringatan Prof. Norlaila kepada dekan dan pengarah provisi, naik chancellor they should put this as an important criteria because ethically it is not right. And even when you want to hold positions, I think it needs to be looked into whether you are truly fulfilling the MMC requirement. Saya tahu ramai yang tidak fulfill ni. Harap Prof. Norlaila bawa ke pengurusan lah ya. Saya tak ada dalam pengurusan.
Berat Prof. Dayang, memang kena bawa ni. Okay, right. Thank you. Rasanya banyak soalan untuk Dr. Farah. Okay, so based on the table presented, does it mean that if we are unable to complete our subspecialty training, automatically we would have a debt of 500,000 or more with KKM, although we have been working for KKM as usual throughout the duration? I do understand if the penalty is on those who completed the training and then jump to private center. Okay.
Question tu memang controversial lah. Memang apabila BPL mengeluarkan kontrak yang begitu tinggi ni, tahap tempoh dia tinggikan daripada 3 tahun kepada 4 hingga 5 tahun tu, agak controversial. I know this question will come out. Dia macam ni, dia macam master juga. Master, if you fail to complete dengan jayanya, maksudnya fail in between kan, incompetent due to macam fail exam, sama macam master, you have to pay prorate of how much you have used. Prorate sahaja sebenarnya, jangan takut sangat 500,000 tu. Dia tak kejam sebenarnya, tak ada sampai yang tu memang task force dia boleh nego dan buat rayuan dengan task force. But secara sejarahnya lah, subspecialty jarang orang fail. Yang ada banyaknya ialah resign sebab bukan sebab fail lah. Jadi it can be prorated. Let's say first year you tak tamat dengan jayanya sebab you sakit, cancer, itu tak payah bayar apa-apa. Tapi in between first year you fail exam, the candidate fail exam, tidak sesuai, didapati unsuitable to continue training, unsafe. Okay, ada case macam tu, yang tu dia bayar prorate. First year tu berapa? Kalau tak pergi overseas lagi, so dia akan prorate dan bayar, dia ada rayuan dengan task force PPL whereby they will calculate how much you need to pay per month, misalnya macam tu. Dia sama macam master, cuma tinggi 500,000 disebabkan oleh return of investment yang terlalu kerugian sebab our trainer is not being paid. They are very senior and still stay with the government and they're not being paid, and then merugikan masa, tenaga dan juga projection yang tak pernah tercapai disebabkan oleh ni. Keperluan macam masuk air di dalam botol yang bocor. Kan, masuk, we keep on producing and we keep on do not have enough this one to cater the whole nation punya needs first of all. And second of all, it is crucial for us to really screen and to get the cohort atau population yang betul-betul commit to really serve for at least 4 years yang macam tadi tu, 4 years or 5 years. Dia tak minta lama pun. Eventually they will resign. So basically bila kita bagi takliman and we'll show BPL lah yang akan showkan slide ni, slide diorang. So when they show this, pengurusan show, then we will receive phone call from the candidate yang sepatutnya dah lulus saringan. They will say, actually saya nak resign within 2 years, so saya nak tarik diri. So we will saring and get the population really committed to continue for at least 4 years with the Ministry of Health Service. Itu je yang kita nak sebenarnya. So don't worry about the 500,000, semua tu adalah prorate sahaja, but jarang orang subspecialty ni fail lah. Tak macam master, because it's on job training and you will be supervised by many centers. I don't think so. Tak banyak, setakat yang saya tengok macam setahun ada 1, 2 macam tu yang akan fail sebab exam. Yang sakit-sakit tu tak payah bayar apa-apa.
Right.
Did I answer the question? Ataupun ada dia nak tanya apa?
Saya rasa betul lah tu. Betul yang
Baik.
Dr. Farah cakap tu, betul lah tu. Lagipun Prof. Norlaila, bila kita buat fellowship ni, kita ada perks tau. Kita kata kita fellow buat posting ni, mana-mana kita nak pergi senang, kita KKM bantu untuk site, re-site kita kat mana kita nak. So it's not right kalau kita duduk katakan daripada daerah ke, kita datang state, lepas tu kita datang KL katakan, lepas tu kita stop orang lain datang to that center kan. Yeah, so we cannot say, oh I'm serving and then therefore why you make me pay. I think you memang kena penalize at all program. Dulu I'm glad it is more structured now, because I think even dulu pun ada problem ni, yeah. Then now I think it's very transparent. In fact, I'm very impressed that KKM asked, oh you nak pergi 2 tahun nak leave KKM after 2 years kan. And it is now that honest kan. Because I think last time lagi lah balik fellowship je, mereka bayar yang jumlah yang duduk kat overseas tu saja. I think 300,000 kot dulu kan. Lepas tu belah kan. So the country lost, country as in the Ministry of Health lost service of a consultant at that time. Yeah, so I think it's a good move.
Yeah, I totally agree with Prof. Dayang. Similar with institution as well. The reason why you've been sent out for training, because we're hoping that you come back to train the others, to train the junior colleagues. So there should be return of interest to the KKM or MOH and also to institution who have sent you. Right. Okay, soalan seterusnya. Okay, again about special to Dr. Farah again. So follow up from that question, Dr. Farah, yeah, dia kata so even for failing the exam, inability to complete the training due to various reasons, would it be then discourage the specialist from doing subspecialization? I don't think so.
Setakat ni tak juga, because 2020 the year 2020 when this contract started, we receive 500 per year application per year untuk 2 intake. So 500. This year kita ada buka lagi 2021 ni dapat lagi dalam 400 lebih yang apply. Despite the high contract binding agreement despite the high penalty pun they are still applying. So mungkin discourage in terms of takut fail kan. Tapi like I said just now, sebenarnya if you really follow the probation period, if you really follow the modules, depending on what module, what subspecialty you ambil lah sebenarnya. Kan, so for as long as you have a good rapport with your trainer and you go to the, I mean tak ada banyak amendment during the training, tak banyak masalah, biasanya mereka pass saja subspecialty ni. Because subspecialty ni sebenarnya it's a certification, not a qualification. For now, it is just a certification. You complete, certification of complete yang KKM keluarkan. Qualification tu lain, macam university memang basically semua basic specialty university handle. It's a qualification. So benda ni sebenarnya simple lah sepatutnya subspecialty ni. Yang isunya kalau nak resign in between resign tak complete. Yang tu yang sebenarnya discouraging lah, tak tahu apa masalah. Yang tu mungkin case to case basis lah, jarang sekali.
Right. Okay, now to Dato' Khairi and maybe Prof. Dayang as well, a question on NSR registration timing. So bila dah post graduation, is it after 1 year or supervised work or 2 years? Then you get yourself registered with NSR. And if it is illegal to practice as specialist without NSR, the 6 to 18 months post gazettement is considered non-specialist. Sebab NSR kan dapat after 2 years of, after your post training. So that's the question.
Okay, whether while doing the training, you are doing specialist work under supervision, all right, of a consultant, is illegal. That's what lah in short, yeah. So now, there is such thing also in ethics, in good medical practice, matters like privileging, okay, which is administrative and it is perfectly ethical, all right. And the employer will take full responsibility for allowing anybody who is not a consultant to be fully independent practicing a consultant. Contohlah kalau macam Prof. Dayang punya tu, malam-malam dia sendiri buat some endoscopic anything lah, yeah. And then he or she run into trouble. Whoever the supervisor will be in trouble too, all right. And the employer will be in trouble too because they will be, taken to task. Maybe for compensation ke, for negligence, whatever lah. Yeah. So pada pandangan kita sekarang ni, yes, macam undang-undang tu rigid lah, tapi tidak ya. Sebab we have also under our MMC punya, which is recognized by law, our good medical practice, our ethical practice, matters like credentialing and privileging we allow. But the responsibility now has been transferred from that practitioner to someone else. In this case, consultant lah. So I hope that answers lah that part, yeah. I want to add on sikit sebab tadi discussion between Dr. Farah sama Prof. Dayang with regards to gazettement, kepakaran, consultancy. Okay, where MMC is concerned, gazettement does not count. That is for your gaji saja, for your kepakaran, that is only for your allowances. Alright. For us, if you don't go through the 14B punya processes through NSR, you are not a pakar until your name is inside the register. It's as simple as that. So please don't confuse lah ya. And then katakanlah buat locum pula, I'm gazetted, so I can use the word specialist. No, under the law, manalah kadang-kadang trainee under gazettement, so they do locum kan. So you are caught and your name is not up in the MMC will not vouch for you. To us, we only look at you as fully registered and not a pakar yet. Okay, but you can defend yourself lah. I have privileging or whatnot. That's up to you lah, your lawyers. Yeah. So that is one thing. Satu lagi macam fellowship by KKM ni, after dapat basic degree, you can do subspecialty. I just want to mention lah, because DG recently came out with a statement about parallel pathway, parallel program. I just want to bring it up lah so that you all know this new vocabulary lah. Parallel pathway adalah KKM atau MOH assisting the candidates who is going to sit overseas program exam. Meaning to say, experiential sharing with consultant, facilitating, what shall I say, cases where they need to go to be exposed, all right, and some financial problems, financial aids. So if that is so, MQA in our meeting says that they will not disturb, they will not come in. But if it is done in a structural manner, as if you are a partner of that qualification provider from overseas, then MQA will come in and accredit it, be it the qualification or the training area component that is done in Malaysia. So this has to be made clear lah. Yeah. And the statement is actually done by the DG himself, and we have clarified this. But of course, there's a lot more clarification processes that we need to lah, because some private universities also would like to just offer the training aja. You know, contoh ENT saja. For those we will assist only for those going to overseas to do ENT. But we have a lot of cases because ours is a specialized clinic, for example. So do we need to be accredited and all these things? So these are new things that I would like, member of the panelists and also maybe faculty yang dengar ni, take note of this lah. Yeah, it is not firm yet, so it's still in the works. Yeah. I think this is a thing that I would like to add on. Thank you. Back to you, Prof. Norlaila.
Prof. Norlaila, for the sake of clarity, sebab tadi kita tak mention about credentialing and privileging. So bila you pass, I know you panggil yourself specialist, and you behave like specialist, you buat specialist call. Again, you punya specialist allowance not tied up to apa yang kita cakap hari ni. Okay, it is utmost important you make sure you are credential and privilege di bawah institusi tu, di mana you are ada orang yang supervise dan cakap you buat apa, and take these 2 years lepas you dapat your degree tu, you pass tu, take that as the post qualification training untuk you apply NSR. Daripada tadi ada ramai yang cakap, oh you can enter. You cannot enter, you know. You apply to enter. The committee will decide whether you fulfill the training or not. Again, dalam tempoh 2 tahun tu, you make sure you got your privileging certificate. Apa beza credentialing dengan privileging? Credentialing tu di proses yang pertama, dia cakap you boleh buat apa. Privileging ni kadang-kadang saya di UKM, tapi ada kes-kes saya terpaksa pergi ke KKM hospital. Credentialing saya dan privileging saya di HCTM. Tetapi untuk kes-kes khas, saya boleh pergi ke institusi lain, dia privilege saya untuk datang dan buat certain thing masa tu. Okay? Bukannya kita bagi you credentialing and privileging, lepas tu you boleh buat locum. Itu tidak, sebab macam Datuk Khairi cakap tadi, you belum masuk dalam register. Okay, that is why saya rasa memang kita kena ingatkan pengurusan tertinggi kita, Prof. Norlaila, sebab saya tengok cepat sangat ada yang buat di UKMSC tanpa mereka ni duduk dalam NSR lagi. Jadi kita kena ingatkan sebab ada banyak implikasi tu. And kalau the reason why we ask you all the final year, the third year to listen in, because you will hear after this what your seniors are doing, and they say it's okay. Please don't follow them. Okay, today we brought you the ultimate CEO. So please don't after this go and say, oh, my senior got this, do this. Please don't do that. Okay, so this is a teaching session and a learning process for you your entire career. You must take NSR seriously. Okay, and dalam NSR tu ada expiry date kan, Dato' Khairi? Dia ada tempoh, lepas tu you kena mohon lagi sekali. Jadi jangan ingat masa you duduk dalam tu you boleh buat segala benda, lepas tu you dah tetap di dalamnya. Tidak. Jangan expose diri kepada benda-benda yang you tak di-train dan you buat. Ini termasuklah dalam pit surgery. Saya tengok macam-macam, bila dia join private, dia buat macam-macam benda. That will be taken into consideration bila you nak re-accredit. Again, make sure you are supervised by a trainer who is already NSR registered. Sebab kalau apa-apa hal, begitulah. Dan pengurusan pun akhirnya is the pengarah and the dekan. Ultimately the Naik Chancellor kalau dalam hospital pengajar universiti. I hope it clarifies, Prof. Norlaila.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Dato' Khairi nak sambung. Dato'
Sambung
Khairi.
sikit, sambung
Ya,
sikit.
sila.
Very
Yeah.
important because bukan hanya the pihak pengurusan yang akan terbabit, yang penting diri you sendiri. Your PI, usually if you are in a government, macam ada institution, dia ada group. Don't depend on group, please. The moment you go outside your field, for example nak buat ke apa ke, the group insurance number satu is not enough for you for any medical legal compensation. It runs in millions. Never will be cukup. Number two, the moment katakan you breach your field of practice ke ataupun the one that you have been licensed to do so, the insurance will be smiling because they won't pay for you because you breach the law. Then meaning to say you can be made a bankrupt. So be careful. So even though you have your APC, even though you say that your APC is for us we interpret it APC is only for your full registration, not for your pakar yet. If you are not been registered, but the moment you are registered, yes, you can run your pakar. You can do your pakar practice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato' Khairi. Yes, it's important, like what Prof. Dayang said, whatever your seniors are doing doesn't mean that they're doing correctly. So this PPD is very important. That's why we make it compulsory, especially for the final year, to attend before you go out there to really practice as a future specialist and consultant. Right, follow up from the NSR just now. The next question is, what is the registration process for NSR for candidate with external paper such as FCAI? If a candidate has both MED and FCAI, what is the consideration?
Maybe saya boleh answer ni quickly sebab time is running out. Sebenarnya semua kita dah setarakan itu masuk NSR. Eligibility to apply is 2 years of supervised post qualification training, Prof. Norlaila. Jadi kalau dia ada FCAI ke, kalau FCAI dia 1 year earlier dia dapat daripada masters dia, masa dia memohon masuk NSR tu dia boleh gunakan yang tu, Tapi biasanya kita akan tengok balik sebab tentu masa dia FCAI tu dia tak buat kerja sebagai specialist lagi. Seperti yang dikatakan dia masuk NSR as a consultant kan. A lot of us akan, kalau yang ada 2 ni kita akan tengok yang terakhir dia pass lah, Prof. Kalau dia pass 2 tahun, lepas tu 2 tahun awal daripada dia pass masters, maksudnya 2 tahun tu dia masih kerja MO lagi. Kan, dia bukan dapat responsibility sebagai specialist. Ini bila saya cakap specialist ni saya ambil kira yang kita biasa gunalah, bukan yang definisi yang Dato' Khairi cakap tu, you are not considered specialist until you masuk NSR. This is our term yang usual kita guna, Prof. I hope it clarifies. Memang kita kata tu 2 years supervised post qualification training. So you take from the last one lah, sebab itu yang you start bekerja sebagai specialist ni kan, under supervision.
Yeah, right. And the next one is maybe to Prof. Dayang as well. Assalamualaikum, would like to ask on the application of subspecialty training from KPT side, because this participant is a trainee lecturer from IPTA.
Untuk trainee lecturer, you kena pass as lecturer dulu, okay, and then after that you kena masuk NSR dulu. Kemudian you akan boleh masuk fellowship training di dalam universiti, okay. Saya ingat UKM is contoh terbaik lah. You boleh pergi website SPS, you can go to the SPS website, you look at clinical fellowship. Okay, most of the clinical fellowship is already subspecialized and it is between 1 year to 3 years program. Okay, so for example, I am director of the pediatric laparoscopy and surgery for 1 year. It's a 1 year program. There's a requirement and all that. You can look into the website. And like Prof. Norlaila, she has a 3-year fellowship in endocrinology, and so forth. So look at the availability of the specialty training. Do you want? Of course, you're not eligible lah if you're in a lecturer in IPTA in the local university. You're not eligible to to go for the fellowship training program of the MOH, yeah, because you're not in MOH, right? But you can in the specialty training look at the university fellowship training whether they recognize you to go to centers in MOH. So it's very discipline driven and very cost director driven, yeah, Prof. Norlaila. I hope I answered that. Yes, Dr. Farah. Yes.
Prof, mungkin saya nak add sikit. Kita in the Ministry of Health, our program also kita ada juga terima candidate dari universiti, dari hospital angkatan tentera and also overseas trainee. Okay, cara mereka masuk untuk let's say bidang infectious disease, they have to trainee university tu perlu mendapatkan approval from university side lah. Biasa kita akan dapat surat daripada dekan fakulti tu untuk pakar atau pensyarah tersebut for them to apply to infectious disease, ketua perkhidmatan lah. Let's say for currently now we have Datuk Mahiran. So mereka akan dapatkan tempat dulu daripada maksudnya dekan tu akan apply for.
Oh, that's good.
Ada juga memang ada, memang dah lama Datuk Prof. Jadi macam mana dia masuk ialah dia akan dapatkan tempat dulu dan Datuk Mahiran will write to us or dekan will write to us to pengarah perkembangan perubatan. So usually kita akan allow sekiranya ada tidak menjejaskan trainer-trainee ratio of staff KKM sendiri. Maknanya trainee kita ada tapi cukup trainer untuk juga train the university trainee. So selalunya pengarah perkembangan akan cakap tiada halangan dan sila pergi itulah directly deal with Datuk Mahiran and all that lah.
As long as I think the university recognize that training program, I think you should take the opportunity kan. As long as universiti tu mengiktiraf, memang kita iktiraf pun geng-geng kita je kan. Yeah? As long as and then there are requirements to follow the 3-year fellowship program lah, whether your jabatan can allow you to move there where the center of training is and so forth. That will be a separate discussion.
Usually what happens is if let's say example UKM we don't have fellowship program in infectious diseases, so mainly our specialists will go to KKM and join the fellowship program, but as part of rotation sometimes they also go to UM because UM has established ID team. But UKM is actually building up our ID team. At the moment, we only have one consultant and one specialist under training. So that is the reason why we also send our lecturer to KKM. There's already established a training program in KKM side. Similarly, like palliative care medicine, in UKM we have one in training. He's going overseas now, but mainly is under UM and also together with KKM. Okay, so we work together with regards to fellowship. But if let's say the candidate is from IPTA and for example, UKM has established endocrine fellowship training, then the candidate from IPTA or from IPTS, they can do 3 years full fellowship program with UKM, example, or full with UM because there's established endocrinology team or respiratory team and so on. But usually the KKM fellowship, they will under KKM, they will go to KKM, example, in IPR or other hospital, Serdang, and sometimes they come as 6 months attachment with UKM or with UM. They will get different flavor, different training from different consultant. Okay, I do hope that also explained. Okay. Right, I think this is from, I think we have another 29 minutes. So there's a lot of questions. This must be from international candidate. Why are there a huge discrepancy between the intakes for non-surgical subspecialty compared to surgical subspecialty? Maybe Dr. Farah, Prof. Dayang can answer this.
Ini masuk masuk fellowship ke? You nak tanya huge discrepancy, what to do? People are not interested in non-surgical subspecialty. Oh no, not interested in I think more people I don't know what's the number you have, but anyway, I think this one is preference code, Prof. Norlaila. kan?
Yes, no,
I think we
it's
can
the interest of the
candidate.
participant.
Yeah.
Candidate.
Can we move on to the next question?
Yes, the next question. Okay, will there future problems for NSR registration or subspecialty training if originally our primary medical degree was recognized but subsequently revoked? For example, the scenario involving 7 Egypt medical programs earlier this year. Maybe Dato Khairi can answer this.
Okay, the MMC, yeah, okay. The MMC has made this stand is that if it has been revoked, it will be forward, not retrospective. If we have recognized, we will recognize. Okay, that's a short answer. Okay, but you have to show proof that your degree, was issued at what year. But so far, the issue about the recent, what shall I say, so-called quote unquote unrecognized or de-recognized, it was very temporary. This was actually legal provisions, because change of name, of degree, for example, suddenly it becomes masters in medical science and doctor of medicine from MBBS, for example. So we will not register because it differs from the Schedule 2. Basic degree is very much legal because it is based on whatever has been, what shall I say, gazetted in Schedule 2. There are 3 components there. Number 1 is the name of your institution. Even name of institution also changes. Name of your qualification and the year that the change has been recognized by us, meaning to say that has been gazetted. So before once, this is especially for master's program, local master program that you, if you are taking students from overseas, make sure you check first with the MMC's Schedule 2 or better still, the Attorney General website, because they will be the official website, because registration, gazettement is done by them, by the Attorney General office. So again, back to your question, if yours is earlier, we will recognize, we will honor that.
I hope that answered the question. Okay, next one is untuk subspecialty yang ada direct program, example urology, adakah masih dibuka untuk postgraduate candidate? Maybe Prof. Dayang or Dr. Farah?
Subspecialty ada direct program, contoh urology.
Okay.
Adakah masih dibuka untuk postgraduate? Yes, dia buka untuk postgraduate. You have to go to the board lah. I think we had a new specialist yang enter and then dia ambil terus. Direct program ni biasanya masih untuk urology masih lagi kena jadi surgeon dululah. Bukannya you buat masters in urology, tak ada. Postgraduate candidate maksudnya you kena pass as a general surgeon dulu. Okay, right.
Right. Okay. To Dr. Farah, this subspecialty contract, is it on top of the master program contract, meaning 5 years plus 5 years?
Yang ni saya tak berani nak cakap lah Prof, sebab yang ni saya rasa BPL apabila dia orang sign contract binding agreement with BPL, let's say dia orang masih dalam tempoh master ada lagi berapa tahun kontrak tu kan, sama ada it can be, does it mean that it can be overlap ataupun adakah tambah lagi kan, maksud dia tu. Yang tu saya rasa yang ni kena clarify masa apply nantilah, apply dengan BPL nanti. Sebab yang ni kontrak ni saya tak berani pula jawab sama ada boleh, adakah overlap ataupun dia apa kita panggil plus kan, plus 5 plus 5.
Right.
Sebab dia ni kerja, memang dia dah janji nak buat kerja 5 tahun. Tapi mungkin saya faham ada ramai juga geng-geng saya kan masa tahun ke-5 tu dia start subspecialty training kan. So far tak ada lah, tak tahu lah kok ada baru punya kan. Betul, kena tanya as per application.
Yang ni kena pemberi kontrak tu sendiri jawab, lebih better, lebih afdal. And
Yes,
also dia sebagai penaja, saya tahu.
Okay, tapi from my experience, if I can share, I was a trainee lecturer with UKM. So 4 years of hadiah latihan by UKM, and then I have to go after I passed that 2 years of working, And then sepatutnya I ada 5 years contract with UKM after that, meaning I cannot resign, otherwise I have to pay back to UKM. And after that I went to UK for my research degree, so another contract. So the addition of 4 plus another 4 also. So it's at because the hadiah latihan or beasiswa is counted. So that's with UKM. I'm not sure, maybe because it's all under JPA, right? When you talk about beasiswa and so on, it may be the same, it may not be the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so next, is a person with postgraduate qualification eligible for accreditation?
Norlaila, tadi satu soalan kot earlier. I think that candidate is much earlier.
Yang mana?
Okay, it's alright.
So
Okay,
fine.
just proceed. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
is a person with postgraduate qualification eligible for accreditation under supervision by NSR qualified consultant in a private sector.
Ini eligible untuk apa ni? Accreditation.
Accreditation. So like
Accreditation
example NSR qualified consultant postgraduate qualification. Example, okay, they have master.
Dia nak masuk NSR lah. Eligible
nak
to
masuk
enter NSR.
Yeah, but that person is or the consultant that supervising him or her is in the private sector. Maybe example ENT lah, because you know they run the program.
Biasanya kita ambil supervision more than one person. Walaupun kita assign one person, that center must have at least 2 consultant. Dia tak boleh short-short sendiri kan. I'm the only consultant, you come and train by me, you do I say, and then I verify you're very good, and then you hantar ke NSR SCC terus ambil, tak ada kan. Jadi dalam situasi di mana di macam katakanlah di Kelantan ke, di Kuantan ke, ada satu je NSR registered consultant untuk specialist yang baru lepas ni kan. Tapi kita tahu this will jeopardize the application for NSR kan. Kita akan suruh candidate ni pergi attach diri dia kepada another consultant, Prof Norlaila. Jadi dia tak boleh solely under one. Sama ada di private sector tu is a recognized training center or not. I think yes, it is an NSR qualified consultant, but is that center a recognized training center for masters kan, post qualification? I think that is important. So again, go back to your SCC to your the board of your NSR untuk clarify sama ada which are the training center recognized for your post qualification training.
Dato Khairi, want to add anything?
Yeah, at least 2 2 referees lah ataupun consultant lah that will have to vouch for your post qualification training. So that must be appropriate. Tak bolehlah pengarah hospital tu ke when you are doing ONG and then the
pengarah ada minta
ada jadi.
Itulah
so we reject.
Dia kena betul automatic, tak kira you bos apa depan tu kan.
Betul.
It has to be related lah.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah. For example, you know, I'm from Department of Medicine. So in the past, when I was the head of department, UMS, you know, the new university, and they are building up hospitals. So they're recruiting new specialists and new lecturer. So those young past MRCP, they actually sent to UKM for gazettement. So the specialists will be with us for 2 years. So within that 2 years, we will rotate the specialists under different consultants. So at the end of that 2 years, we have multiple report, different people assessing him to see whether is he qualified to be a consultant physician. And it's very important because he's going to go back to Sabah and become a lecturer and teach the junior people to become doctors, to become specialists and so on. So it's very important. Okay, it's not about simply signing and you pass NSR, because the responsibility will go on and on.
Lagipun training, you cannot call yourself proper training unless you have minimum to consultant. Jadi jangan tag to one consultant, say orang tu je tak. It's not going to be good for you for your application.
Yeah. Okay, right. So next question is, when is the ideal time to submit NSR application after obtaining postgraduate degree? Is it to be submitted after 24 months?
Macam kita cakap tadi, eligibility. maksudnya eligibility ialah 2 years after post qualification training oleh NSR registered consultant and in a recognised training center. Jadi cukup 24 bulan of all that, then you mohon lah. Kalau you could just you pass exam bulan 10 hari bulan Disember, lepas tu 10 hari bulan Disember 2 tahun berikutnya, you kata I dah 24 bulan. Tapi I tengok you punya consultant seorang, lepas tu you ada ambil cuti lagi kan sebagainya. Jangan create issue lah. Just fulfill requirement, eligible baru bukannya boleh enter terus ya. And then tengok tadi Dato' Khairi dah tunjuk pathway tu kan, lalu technical committee, lalu SCC, pergi pula jawatankuasa 1, lepas tu pergi jawatankuasa main kan dan sebagainya. So yeah, it takes some time but I think if you fulfill the requirement as per your NSR committee, you'll be fine.
Yeah, there's a logbook as well to be filled up during that 2 years. So please remember that. Dato'
If I
Khairi
may,
nak add?
if I may add,
Sila Dato'.
just to clarify, actually, if you look at the NSR and all the subspecialty criteria, subspecialty, actually it varies, walaupun Dr. Dayang, Prof. Dayang was saying about 2 years, but some as short as 1 year pun ada. It depends on your subspecialty. It depends because, but we are now, MMC is looking into, what shall I say, harmonizing this lah.
2 tahun.
Nak jadikan 2 tahun. Because some of them, they say, it's enough already. For example, like if I'm not mistaken, MPH, katakan, tapi dia sub macam mana? Right? So it because they are, kalau you tengok MQA, MPH is already level 8. 7, 8,
Apa tu?
Tak, ni MQA level it is the highest so far lah because of the structured thing. So
dia level 8 tu PhD Dato' Khairi.
That's right.
So kita tak ada orang budak-budak ni bukan ambil PhD pun.
That is now there is an effort by Dean's Council and that to make an equivalence that it is level 8 to all the pakar. Dulu we don't really bother because as long as you get your gazetteman and your specialist allowance, that's it. It does not stop there because now this is a global world. When you go overseas and they look at your equivalence, you're only level 7. Kan? Whereas Dayang adalah level 8, PhD level. But this is just letting you know the things in the pipeline lah. So don't despair. I think all parties related to specialty and subspecialty is now working hard for the so-called global equivalence lah. Thank you.
Muted the Prof.
Okay, sorry. Right. There's one question maybe to Dr. Farah. For subspecialty training, if let's say the participants or the candidate nak self-fund, boleh tak? Okay, if so, is there any bond?
Okay. Self-funded ni untuk pegawai KKM tak dibenarkan. Sekarang ni wajib HLP, semua HLP. There's no more slot for non-HLP because from the current trend, previous trend, siapa yang non-HLP tu, like I mentioned earlier, dia biasanya dia akan resign lah. Immediately after finish, they will resign to the private sectors and the private are willing to pay. Even 500,000 ni pun sebenarnya boleh je dibayar kan. Jadi for self-funded tidak dibenarkan for pegawai KKM. Tapi kalau pegawai tu dah resign, kemudian dia nak bayar sendiri, tak ada bonding. Dia boleh saja apply through mana-mana pengerusi jawatankuasa bidang palliatif, for instance, Dr. Richard, apply through Dr. Richard and then dia masuklah facility tahun pertama ke mana, kedua ke, tak ada masalah. Kalau nak self-funded, must be not from KKM staff lah. KKM mesti kena kita panggil bonding dengan HLP, dengan JPA.
Right, okay, thanks Dr. Farah. So this may be to Prof. Dayang. May I ask if the pediatric parallel pathway via MRCPCH is now a systematic 4-year training program in MOH? Can the candidate be gazetted early if they complete the clinical paper before the 4 years early?
Itulah Dato' Khairi, saya nak cakap kat you, sebenarnya parallel program tu training. We all know that kan, regardless of what DG said. Tapi tak apalah, itu isu lain kita bincang. Tapi memang it's a training program, must be MQA accredited. Okay, untuk candidate ni, if you are undergoing training program, MRCPCH, you tengok program you tu kan, program tu kata, you again, I think you're a bit confused about being gazetted, about being gazetted early. As far as I know now, the 4-year parallel pathway tu dia lebih structured. You kena ada, dia dah jadi macam master sikit. You tak boleh, dulu you pass MRCPCH, you boleh masuk NSR after 2 years. Tapi sekarang ni untuk MRCPCH pun dia buat 4 years. Jadi you tak adalah untuk setarakan dengan yang master's program. Can the candidate be gazetted early if they complete the clinical paper before the 4 years early? Again, it's about post-qualification training. I don't understand what you mean by clinical papers. Maybe yang MRCPCH punya group tahulah. Tapi again, dalam you punya specialty NSR pediatric, you tengok balik bagaimana you nak join, how do you join the NSR after. I think also you're asking about gazettement because of the allowance, which I can't answer. Again, don't get mixed up. Like Dato Khairi said, the MMC is not bothered about your specialist allowance. Okay, they're bothered about you being in the register and how safe you are. Okay, and what we are discussing today is how safe you are. How to make you safe, you need to go for 2 years, and we are going to harmonize it to 2 years post-qualification training, for all specialty. So do that. In the meantime, I don't think MOH has ever penalized a specialist. When they give you that job, they already tell you, like mine, when I passed the FRCS, they are very clear. You're going to be performing the job of a specialist. I'm credentialed and privileged for that hospital for 18 months. I don't get a single allowance as a specialist. Okay, but I have to show that I have passed all the requirement, then I can apply to be gazetted. Dalam in MOH kita ada pewartaan. Pewartaan is a legal document. Pewartaan sebagai pakar bedah surgery pediatrik. So I have to go through all that and then diwartakan 2 kali, kemudian diwartakan lagi dan diregister pula dalam NSR, and then ada pula fellowship. It is you have to fulfill all the requirement that is set for you to ensure that you are a safe person to care for patients. So gazettement, when students selalu guna perkataan tu, it is tied up to your specialist allowance. Don't worry so much about that. You have to ask the institution. Okay,
right. Okay, next one maybe to Dr. Farah and also Dato Khairi. Okay, some of the anesthetists postgraduate are sent to East Malaysia district hospitals to serve as anesthetists. The district hospital is not a training center without NSR registered consultant. What is the consideration in this scenario? And then follow up to that, can someone do gazettement or post-qualification training without the trainer on site, meaning the trainer not in the same hospital setting? Maybe just visiting consultant or something like that.
Untuk ni master pas master kan, jadi basic specialist kan?
Yes. Yeah.
Usually kalau ni biasanya ada distance supervisor or visiting specialist to assist, and because gazettement is a process whereby dia masih dalam perjawatan, dia masih lagi pegawai perubatan sebenarnya. Dia belum pakar. Dia dalam apa kita panggil warrant jawatan dia tu, dalam tempoh tu dia masih lagi pegawai perubatan, tapi because dia dah start melakukan kerja-kerja on call, they must be supervised. Walaupun sebab dia masih lagi dalam probation lah kita panggil. Jadi sebenarnya sepatutnya bagi saya memang they should be, because for purpose of service dia kena ditempatkan di certain hospital yang memerlukan, yang ada keperluan, tetapi biasanya akan ada distance supervisor ataupun visiting specialist yang akan assist. But because gazettement tempoh tu ada report dia. And because when they apply for such specialty, we will also see whether they have issues during gazettement, being extended during gazettement, not safe to be completed the gazettement and things like that lah. Pada pendapat saya selalunya ada supervisor distant.
Saya bagi Datuk jawab dulu, baru saya boleh bagi experience.
Okay, where MMC atau NSR is concerned, we honor generally, this is the principle, we honor the system that evaluates a pakar. So if the system says that there will be a supervisor and supervision, and then at the logbook is signed by these responsible peoples, then we will take it lah. Yeah, but it depends again. It depends on the SSC's recommendation, because they are the ones who will look at case mix, you know, whatever lah, your cases and how and what environment you are working on and all that. Yeah, so the SSC's wisdom is also taken into consideration. Yeah, that's a broad way of answering it.
Prof Norlaila, situasi yang NS tu berlaku juga di pit surgery. Kita masa ada satu kohort, beberapa kohort lah, dia baru brand new, tapi kita ada need of service di MOH. Jadi head of service pit surgery terpaksa hantar dia sebagai ketua, dia jadi state head lepas tu. Dia tak masuk NSR lagi. Kita tahu problem tu. The head of the service in MOH will take responsibility to make sure that the person is supervised from the distance dan hantar macam itulah, visiting. Memang tak ideal sebab sepatutnya dia disupervise oleh 2 orang konsultan lain, tetapi there is a need of service. That is why it is an interim. So macam saya dalam SCC tu, kita pun minta MOH segerakan proses the supervision, because we want that doctor to be in the register. We want to facilitate the doctor to be in the register, because you see there is a state with that kind of consultant or doctor will also be a training center for our masters. And in the master's program, you cannot send a trainee to a center where the consultant or the head is not in the NSR yet. That is a requirement. But there will be situation where you just cannot put everybody kan. Lepas dia dapat masuk NSR, lepas tu dia pergi join private. A lot of them do that. So you keep on having a situation where you don't have enough. So this is case to case basis, and I think for the sake of the candidate, if you are put in that position, you must put in writing that you would like to be supervised distantly, do case mix. Kalau ni senang, Zoom, boleh buat Zoom every week, present your cases so that you are you can put forward your cases. Your decision is discuss. Kita pun buat macam tu, you discuss in the WhatsApp, you discuss in the Zoom, so that we can supervise and say yes, you've made the right decision. Okay, so there's no more issue kata saya tak supervise, saya kena buat seorang-seorang. In this era, it's very easy to get consultation. Thank you, Prof. Norlaila.
Yes, I totally agree with Prof. Dayang. But eventually, it's all about communication and discussion with the consultant, because there's a need in the country, especially in the MOH setting, with regards to care for the patient. The patient can be everywhere, because the next question is talking about being sent to Lahat Dato, the supervision from far, considered as training postgraduate. It is, because at the moment pun kita buat virtual webinar, virtual training and so on. Right? Okay. I think that's about it. Most of the question has been answered. So I'm happy that there's a lot of question from the participants.
Ada satu lagi Prof ni.
Yang mana?
Yang after graduating from.
Oh yeah, ini maybe Dr. Farah. Okay, after graduating from master program, the placement is it will be under NSR certified specialist, or can we choose where we want to be gazetted? Dia nak pilih-pilih tempat.
So, saya in charge of subspecialty. Kalau I'm sure the as the biggest training provider and service provider, I'm sure for master pun sama dengan subspecialty. Apabila finish your training, of course you'll be placed where the projection is needed, where your needs are needed. So but macam tadi, mesti ada bila you are very new specialist, most of the tempat-tempat yang ditempatkan tu ada distance supervisor ataupun your kita panggil your senior to guide you. So basically it's not based on personal interest, it's based on the service needs lah. Itu generally. Tetapi kenapa projection tak pernah tercapai, sebab nanti dia akan rayu, tak nak pergi, anak sakit, mak sakit and everything and all that. But because KKM is not so cruel, some of this percentage will be sent to where they wanted to go lah. So itu yang saya boleh jawab. Tapi basically you cannot choose. you must must be based on the service needs lah, not personal interest.
Apa ni, I think this is across the board. Untuk final year, I'm sure the head of service MOH, you should discuss with them. For pit surgery, for example, and many other specialty, MOH candidate already know where they're going. They're in their final year, they're already in discussion. I'm in the conjoint board as well. So we know that the candidate has been informed where are the needs, and therefore much earlier before you pass exam. So if your specialty has not done that, your conjoint committee has not done that, please communicate with the head of your committee. The head of conjoint committee is university based. The conjoint committee is the MOH representative, the head of service MOH is in the conjoint committee. They should have a session with you and they will discuss where you are supposed to be servicing when you pass. Kita berkhidmat untuk negara. Saya dulu pun tak nak pergi, lepas tu kena pergi kan tempat. And then you can negotiate where you want, but you can't. In fact, bila nak buat pit surgery pun sebenarnya, to be honest with you, in 2001, I already don't want to do pit surgery. Bersungguh-sungguh tak nak buat pit surgery. Dan ketua servis pun kata tak boleh. Tiba-tiba dalam 2 minggu dapat surat transfer. Sila balik buat fellowship pit surgery. Ni apa ni, tak pernah mohon pun kan. Tapi ada clause di situ sebab seorang konsultan dah pergi join private, seorang mengandung, seorang dapat pergi overseas. Dah tak ada orang nak jadi specialist di HKL. So you are roped in and the clause that they use is berkhidmat untuk negara. And so you please berkhidmat untuk negara where you want. But now I think the opportunity is so nice. MOH is so kind. They allow you to discuss prior to you passing the part 2. So you do that and then therefore you can make arrangement where you want to go or whether you have limitation like Dr. Farah cakap tadi. And I think MOH has been very kind to allow apa-apa special lah, ibu personal problems dan family problem. They will try their very best to capai satisfaction on both parties. Norlaila?
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Dayang. Totally right, Prof. Dayang, because we here in the university, we train all of you so that you go back and serve all the people in the country. Okay, we are here because we are here, okay, as a training center. But our job is to provide the specialists and the consultant or subspecialty specialists for the country. So I think with that, I would like to thank everyone, Dato Khairi, Farah and Prof. Dayang for very beneficial input and very interesting discussion. A lot of questions, and I do hope the participants enjoy and benefit from this discussion. So with that, it's already 11 o'clock. So I thank you and we'll have a break before the next session. Okay?
Terima kasih banyak-banyak. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum.
Salam.